Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janabalava Girivaradhari. Gopi Janabalava Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Chalo. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Virabhakacharya Sadasi Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Lesa Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Virabhakacharya Sadasi Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Lesa Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai. Shri Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Kartik Mas Varat Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Parakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Sarvadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So thank you for attending class. Today's verse 16 in chapter 17 entitled The Divisions of Faith. So, 16, right? Yeah. Please repeat. Manaḥ-prasādaḥ, saumyatvam, maunam, ātma-vinigrahaḥ, bhāva-saṁśuddhir, etat, tapo, maunam, ucyate, manaḥ-prasādaḥ saumyatvam, maunam ātma-vinigrahaḥ, bhāva-saṁśuddhir tapo mānasam ucyate, manaḥ-prasādaḥ saumyatvam, maunam ātma-vinigrahaḥ, bhāva-saṁśuddhir etat, tapo mānasam ucyate, manaḥ-prasādaḥ saumyatvam, maunam ātma-vinigrahaḥ, bhāva-saṁśuddhir etat, tapo maunam ucyate. Okay, go ahead. So, thank you. Now, word for word, please repeat. Anuvega-karam. Oh, sorry. Manaḥ-prasādaḥ. Satisfaction of the mind. Saumyatvam. Being without duplicity towards others. Maunam. Gravity. Ātma. Of the self. Vigrahaya. Control. Bhava. Of one's nature. Saṁśuddhir. Purification. Iti. Thus. Etat. This. Tapaḥ. Austerity. Mānasam. Of the mind. Ucyate. Is said to be. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. You can close the door. Noise will come from the door. So, translation. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Please repeat. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Purport, Srila Prabhupada. To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. It should be so trained that it can always be thinking of doing good for others. The best training for the mind is gravity in thought. One should not deviate from Kṛṣṇa consciousness, and one must always avoid sense gratification. To purify one's nature is to become Kṛṣṇa conscious. Satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from thoughts of sense enjoyment. The more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. In the present age, we are unnecessarily engaging the mind in so many different ways for sense gratification. And so there is no possibility of the mind becoming satisfied. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literature, which is full of satisfying stories, as in the Purāṇas and the Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. The mind should be devoid of duplicity, and one should think of the welfare of all. Silence means that one is always thinking of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealings and thereby purify his existence. All these qualities together constitute austerity in mental activities. So, Mukam karoti vachalam pangam naite girim yakripata maham bande Shri Guru Dinadarinam. Manaḥ-prasādaḥ saumyatvam maunam ātma-vinigrahaḥ bhāva-saṁśuddhir iti etat tapo mānasam ucyate. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Yes, so very wonderful sentence here. To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. So, this is one of those wonderful statements by Srila Prabhupada that is so, it's a sutra, just like we have the Vedanta Sutra. So this statement is so compressed with knowledge. To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification, which is the natural proclivity of the conditioned soul. We're always thinking how to enjoy our senses, the working senses and the knowledge-acquiring senses. So how can we make it detached? Not through an impersonal state, I'm just going to restrain the senses, but employing it properly. So Prabhupada says here, the best training for the mind is gravity in thought. One should not deviate from Kṛṣṇa consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. So the negative aspect, you want to detach from sense gratification, but you have to attach the mind to something. The mind, earlier Arjuna said, the mind is always active. Even when we're sleeping, the mind is active. So here Prabhupada says, what does he say? Where is that? Ah, yes. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literature, which is full of satisfying stories, as in the Mahabharata and the Purāṇas, right? The Vedanta Sutra, Govinda Leela Amrita, Kṛṣṇa Bhavana Amrita, all these wonderful stories of the Leela of Kṛṣṇa, they give rasa. These are rasa shastra. The Srimad Bhagavatam is rasa shastra. So this is very important. We'll go back and we'll read the three. There's too much bass on the, turn the bass down on the mixer. Hare Krishna. That's it, the bass. So, austerity of mind, but earlier Krishna said austerity of the body. And then he said austerity of speech, and now austerity of the mind. So we have body, speech, and mind. These are our material jackets of the soul. So it leads to the mind. We want to have the mind detached. So the austerities of the body and speech are meant to detach and make a favorable situation so that the mind can become attached to the Leela of Kṛṣṇa. Mana Kṛṣṇa is, Rupa Goswami says, all the rules and regulations are embodied in two things. One should always remember Kṛṣṇa, that means his name, form, pastimes, his Leela, and one should never forget Kṛṣṇa. That's the negative, the positive. So we learn the Leela of Kṛṣṇa from the Vedic literature, from the acharyas, their purports, and from the bona fide guru and acharya and teacher. And so we should become absorbed in these. There is one verse in the Ishopanishad, I often quote it, Sambhutim vinasham cha, tadvedo bhayam saha, that you should become very knowledgeable about the material world, how the material modes work, how the law of karma is, how the demigods are the extended limbs of Vishnu for the governance of the material world. You should know that. That will give you detachment. That will clear nescience, misunderstanding of the material situation. But then, tadvaido bayam, you should know both. You should also know, this is Ishopanishad, verse 14, you should also know the name, the form of Kṛṣṇa, the guna of Kṛṣṇa, qualities, and the lila of Kṛṣṇa. So, becoming detached is good. But from that platform of detachment, we must then pursue attachment to name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Kṛṣṇa. So Kartik Mas is coming now. So we can all read Kṛṣṇa Bhavanamrita, Kṛṣṇa Govinda Leelamrita, the 10th canto, the Leela of Kṛṣṇa. And then it actually says, chapter 39, verse 35, or vice versa, it explains that if you want to become purified of the desire for sense enjoyment, particularly the root of attachment to this material world, which is sex life, kama esha, krodha esha, then you should meditate, study, absorb the Leela of Kṛṣṇa, particularly the Leela of Kṛṣṇa with the gopis. This is statement of the Bhagavatam. And then the rasa of the spiritual world will replace attachment to meditation upon how to enjoy the material world, which is generally centered around sex life. That is the root. All austerity, we'll see here now, Kṛṣṇa mentions celibacy. So now, without celibacy, it is not possible to get nam ras. It is not possible to get bhava. Lord Rishabdev, he spoke to his sons, and at the end he said, you serve Bharat, he's very advanced. You, my sons, you serve him. And in that way cooperate, and you'll rule the citizens no problem. And always observe celibacy. So here is austerity of the body. Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, that means qualified, the spiritual masters, superiors like the father, the mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. So we should absorb this. We have heard, 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles. But in this chapter, Kṛṣṇa tells us yajna, dana, and now he's teaching us tapasya. These are the 3 karyas, the 3 observances. We shouldn't just think, 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles, I know everything. Kṛṣṇa says earlier that these 3, yajna, dana, tapasa, they should never become given up because they purify even the great souls. The 4th one, karma, our particular work, Kṛṣṇa is going to deal with in the 18th chapter. But now he's emphasizing these 3 austerities in this section, but also how to perform dhan, to whom, and how to perform yajna. And earlier we know in the 4th chapter, Kṛṣṇa says, yajnanam, japa yajnanam, right? Of all yajnas, I am japa. So we should learn the yajna of japa. Japa is sankirtan, kirtan, upamants, and manasik japa. We should learn these 4. Sankirtan means together, kirtan means by oneself, audibly, upamants means to chant the mantra quietly, and manasik japa means to chant within the mind. You can combine it with breathing. One mantra out, one mantra in. One mantra out, one mantra in. And you can use the Gopal mantra for that too. And this makes the mind serene, as we saw today. Serenity. It makes the mind grave. Because how to become brahmachari is not difficult. If one wants to be a brahmachari, one should become a happy brahmachari. That means he's not frustrated, but instead of sense enjoyment, he is relishing the natural bliss of the self. Satchidananda. In 9th chapter, what does Kṛṣṇa say? Rajavidya rajaguyam pavitram idam uttamam susukam kartam avyayam. It's joyfully performed. So one should be in a joyful state, relishing the natural bliss of the soul. And this natural bliss of the soul should be the basis upon which we realize the bliss of our relationship with Kṛṣṇa. So to do that, Kṛṣṇa is giving us here tapaḥ. Now if you remember, everyone knows that Lord Brahma, he awoke on the lotus flower and he heard one word, tapaḥ, austerity, self-control. So here, just so that we inculcate this knowledge, austerity of the body, tapaḥ, consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, yes, celibacy, non-violence. And then austerity of the speech consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, non-agitating, and also reciting the Vedic literature. And then, so that is the body, and then which is full of the senses, then the speaking sense, but then the mind, it leads to the mind, because the mind is our objective, to control the mind. So the mind will go where it is getting enjoyment. Kṛṣṇa, the whole reason for existence, for creation, is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says that Radha and Kṛṣṇa are one. Hari. Shaktiman. Hari. Radha and Kṛṣṇa are one, but to enjoy the bliss of pastimes, they have separated themselves eternally. So sometimes people may say, well, okay, there's God. Why did he create everything? Why did the Creator make a creation? Why has he separated Achincha-bhedabhed into Purusha and Prakriti? They are one. But why? To enjoy the bliss of pastimes. So the whole purpose of creation is to enjoy bliss. And the individual jiva are attendants and assistance in the stimulation of the bliss of the Supreme Lord. Kṛṣṇa is Atmaram. Everything is within him. All pleasure is within him. But to stimulate that pleasure into many varieties, he has separated himself eternally into Radharani, Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram. And the Jiva Tattva, Vibhinamsa, self-control, is the attendant, assistant, participant in that exchange of bliss. So when we read the pastimes, like I'm saying in the 10th canto, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Govinda Leelamrita, this is how we must view them. That the purpose of these pastimes is to stimulate ecstasy. In the 10th canto, the gopis and Kṛṣṇa, they met and they danced for one night time in this calendar, one day of Brahma, one endless night of dancing, enjoying bliss. So the purpose of creation is bliss. Now you may say, but Krishna is everything. Somebody may say that. How to understand this impetus? Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma explains this. He explains that Krishna is Atmaram, but to stimulate and develop in an unlimited fashion his bliss, his interaction with beloved Radharani, his interaction with the Jiva Tattva in the Ras Leela, he has expanded himself. And so one may be, we can understand in this way, one may be a great musician, with perfect vision of music, perfect understanding, insight, a good ear, he can sing in tune, he can play everything beautifully. One may be a good musician, but does he sit at home by himself? No, you get a band together. You're playing the drums, you're playing the veena, you're playing this, you're going to be the chorus, and you make a band and you develop together great ecstasy. And that great musician, it stimulates his ability. He doesn't want to sit at home thinking, I'm a great musician, I've come to the end of musical study. That is a foolishness. We should always remain student. He thinks. Not only he thinks, but he is impelled. Krishna is impelled. You see, impersonalism means that the Supreme Lord is impersonal. Impersonal things are static, but personal things are ecstatic. They are vital, just like we were saying. In the sleeping state, we are dreaming. When we sit down, we're considering. The mind, the consciousness is not a closed entity. It is an effusive, expanding entity. So the secret of life is to perform austerity, yajna and dhan, with a view to taking the mind and fixing it upon one's relationship with Kṛṣṇa in seva bhāv. What is that verse? We always say, Atak Shri Kṛṣṇa namadi na bhaved grayam indriye. Sevan. in service attitude, sevanmukhi hi jivado, starting with the tongue, Bhagavan swayam spurti, he reveals himself to those with sevan. What is that? Sava apudi vane muktam tat paratrena nirmalam rishikesha rishikena sevanam bhaktir ucyate. Sevanam. This is the special quality of bhakti. The jnani is thinking, I'll use my little brain and understand. The yogi is thinking, I'll do breathing and exercise, I'll understand. The karmi is thinking, by work I will progress. But the bhakta is thinking, I'll serve Guru. Mahat sevam dvara maho vimuktesh. I'll think, as Prabhupada says, of doing good for others. I'll remember the Leela of Kṛṣṇa, and I'll offer my japa as a service to Kṛṣṇa. What does Rupa Goswami say? Shri Rupa Manjari Pada. All the things I'm doing, all my vrata, all my tapasya, it's my offering to you. Rupa Goswami. We are in the Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari Parivar. So I'm giving everything to you. So this is the spiritual world. In the material world, on this side is the material world. On this side is the spiritual world. In the material world, everyone is trying to serve themselves. Or serve what they mistakenly consider to be the self, the material body and material mind, and the whimsical concoctions thrown up therefrom. So we are servants of our own self. We are selfish servants of the senses. But in the spiritual world, everyone is a selfless servant of the Supreme and his devotees. So sadhana bhakti and yogya dana tapasa and karma is all to develop seva bhava. Just like we saw here, worship of the superiors, guru, the realized devotees, brahmana, janati, brahman. All these people are the object of service for the sadhaka eternally. In the spiritual world, people are serving Kṛṣṇa, but voluntarily they are joining the group of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari, or the group of Lalita Shaki or Tungavidra. They're spontaneously serving under these attitudes. So, Kartik Mas is a period whereby seva bhav is freely available. Because this is the time of mercy. In Kartik, if we perform Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, with service, offering to Rupa Goswami, offering to the Mahatmas, who are Devim Prakritim Ashrita. We're not going direct to Kṛṣṇa, we are serving the expansions of Kṛṣṇa in this material world. We're seeing everyone as Angsa of Kṛṣṇa. We're seeing everyone has Kṛṣṇa within their heart. And we're serving all living entities and respecting amanina maninena, and we're giving respect to everyone, and we are offering this austerity to Kṛṣṇa and the spiritual master. That is bhakti. Bhakti is to train the mind in seva bhav. That is sadhana bhakti. So, that is here. Now, after the austerities of mind, and the mind, this threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme. It is yajna. All this austerity and training of the mind and japa and vrat and study of the lila and being a gentleman and respecting everyone, this is our offering to the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. And then one will touch rasa. If it is done for the sake of the Supreme. Kṛṣṇa explains that my devotees, he explained to the gopis in the Ras Leela, he said, look, you have given up everything to come to me tonight and dance in the Ras Leela. Tomorrow is Sharat Purnim, dance. That is a special one. That takes place in Govardhan. And that is for the Nitya Siddhas. The Ras Leela at the end, the Purnim of Kartik Mas, is for the Sadhana Siddhas. But tomorrow is the Ras Leela in Govardhan with the Nitya Siddha, the eternal associates. The Ras Leela, like I say, at the end of Kartik, is for all the Sadhana Siddhas and all the different types given to finally achieve bhava. It is explained there, if you remember, 10th canto, some of the gopis, they heard Krishna's flute song. Now, did they think, I'm going there to enjoy with Kṛṣṇa? No. They heard the flute song of Kṛṣṇa in the moonlight, and they thought, Kṛṣṇa is calling us. Kṛṣṇa wants our company. Let us go there and serve. Let us go there and please Kṛṣṇa. Let us play some musical instruments. Let us be joyful. Let Kṛṣṇa enjoy. And now some of the parents, it's explained, or they held back their daughters. And it explained that in their anxiety to join the Ras Leela, they left the last remnants of their material body behind, and they went in their swarup, to the Leela of Kṛṣṇa. So this is the end point, to become so anxious to serve Kṛṣṇa that one forgets. This is the fruit of all austerity, that one forgets what are those four things: beneficial, truthful, pleasing, reciting. No, this is preparatory. But the real bhava is to become so anxious for Kṛṣṇa that one is, what is it? What is the description of the 6 Goswamis? Hey Radhe Brajadevake Chalalite, Hey Nanda Suno Kuto. Are you in Govardhan? Are you on the bank of the Jamuna? Are you in Radhakund? Where are you? This was the mood of the Goswamis as they performed their bhajan. So this is available to everyone. We should not think, oh, that's in the Shastra. Dhruva Maharaj is in the Shastra. Purāṇas, all that is in the Shastra. But me, I'm stuck. We should be confident. Rupa Goswami says, you should be, yes, that is my natural function, to be in this ecstatic bhava. This is the whole purpose of creation. Kṛṣṇa is dancing with the gopis. One dancer is singing like this, and Kṛṣṇa is reciprocating. And Kṛṣṇa is moving in this way, and then that gopi is moving in that way. They're reciprocating, just like two people when they dance together. They synchronize or harmonize their movements. So the spiritual world is an ecstatic synchronization of Leela. So that's in the Brahma Samhita, right? Verse 56. Shriya Kanta Parama Purusha Kaltaravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Gangamai Amritam Toyam Amritam Vamprati Chindan Jyoti Apitadasvita. That in the spiritual world, every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Everything is enjoyable and tasty. The flute is the favorite attendant. And this is the state of the spiritual world. It is a realm, Goloka, of expanding bliss. And we are all welcome there. And our ticket is Seva Bhav. So all these austerities are Swayam Eva Spuryada. They are all meant to please the spiritual master, the acharyas, Kṛṣṇa, Lord Chaitanya, Panchatattva, Rupa Goswami, Sad Goswami. We have to prove our sincerity by that one in today's verse, ātma-saṁyam, self-control, right? Satisfaction, simplicity, self-control. This is very important. We've already talked about this many times. We are vibhinaṁsa. Kṛṣṇa expands us basically two divisions, swa-aṁsa, his Vishnu forms, and his Prakriti form. And he has a third form, he expands as vibhinaṁsa, separated part. We're separated in identity. We don't think in the pure state that I am Kṛṣṇa. But Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, all the incarnations coming through Mahavishnu, they all know I'm Purusha Tattva. And I'm here, Vinashaya Duskritam, Paritranaya Sadhanam, Dharma Samsthapan, I'm doing this. But the jiva is vibhinaṁsa. He has his own individual identity and, most importantly, his own individual free will. He can focus his consciousness here, focus his consciousness here. He can focus his consciousness in sense enjoyment, or by his choice, by his decision, he can focus his attention to service to the Guru, to Sri Guru. Mahat Sevam Dvara Maho Vimuktes. And once that decision, that dedication to Guru is cultivated by the Jiva Tattva, then the path to the spiritual world is illuminated by Chaitaguru, by Acharya, immediately. There's one verse, Yasya Deve Parabhakti, Yasya Deve Tataguru, Ucyate Kahita Yakta Prakashante Mahatmanaha. The purpose of Guru is to put us in touch, is so that we can develop faith. And when we have faith in Guru and Kṛṣṇa, then Prakashante Mahatmana, everything is automatically revealed. Why? Because knowledge, understanding, is the automatic function of the soul. In Shriya Kanta Parama Purusha Kaltara, in the spiritual world, Chit, Ananda, they are fully developed, they are fully active. But in the material world, they're suppressed. Chit means nescience. Anand means near an end. Dissatisfaction, as Prabhupada pointing out. The more we're enjoying, especially in Kali Yuga, so much distraction, dissatisfaction. But in the and then nescience, illusions, mistaken ideas, mistaken goals, bad behavior, pap, confused. But in the spiritual, the nature of the soul is to know everything perfectly at every moment. Just like that great musician, he hears music and he can immediately understand that's the key, that's the tal, that's the instrument. But interestingly, actually, Lord Brahma, he was listening once to Kṛṣṇa play the flute, and he couldn't understand the flute playing of Kṛṣṇa. It was too ethereal, it was too developed. But the point is that it is natural to understand everything. It is natural. Kṛṣṇa consciousness means your consciousness is mixed with the consciousness of Kṛṣṇa. Prabhupada. Just like these different lights, the light from them is mixed. This light is giving, this is, and it's mixed. So Kṛṣṇa is the center. He is the Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam. But through bhava, through bhakti, the consciousness of the living entity becomes mixed with Kṛṣṇa. And then prakashante mahatmana. Everything is there. So this prayojan tattva, this eternal function of the soul, this realization of the goal must be cultivated. And it is understood by sevabhav and by tapasya of the body, words and mind in goodness. And then it is offered to the Supreme, the tapasya. Just like Lord Brahma, he heard the word tapa. So he performed tapa in yajna as an offering. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What does it mean? Hare, O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. So when we chant, we should be thinking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We shouldn't be parrot. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Oh, only 14. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. No, we should be thinking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Ah. And then Krishna reciprocates. Krishna reciprocates according to us. He will dance with the soul as the Virat Rupa, or he'll dance with the soul as the Ras Leela. This is Lord Chaitanya. The Maha Mantra is especially empowered. The Srimad Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, service to the Acharyas, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Reno. Service to the Mahatma. This is the root of devotion. So all our vrata, all our tapasya, all our mantra japa, we offer to the great acharyas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. And these austerities, they make the ground fertile. They make the mind fertile. So yes, 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles. But we must practice this sadhu achar. We must practice this purity of body, words and mind. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you too. So, any question? One question. Mike? Adi.
Hare Krishna, Dando Pranam. Like as he was saying in the Krishna is the energy and the energetic. He wants to enjoy with the energy and energetic. And as we being marginal energy, so how
it's not clear, the mic is not clear. There's too much bass. Say again.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, as Krishna is energetic and we are the energy, like marginal energy. And Krishna wants to enjoy with the energy. So it is also said that we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, so we were put here on this material level.
I can't hear, it's not clear, the microphone is not clear. It's not clear. You don't know how to use the microphone after 10 years. It's too much bass and not enough mid on the... Krishna is something, you were saying.
Yeah, Krishna, he wants to enjoy. So we, as with the energies, like we are like Radharani and the gopis, other things, and we being the marginal energy, so he also wants to enjoy with us, like with the jivas, being marginal energy. And
Krishna's enjoyment is the happiness of others. Go on.
Yeah, and it is parallelly said that we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, so we were put on this material world. And Krishna wants to enjoy us. So how do we understand this? It's a little confusing. Please.
Well, we're marginal potency. So the living entity has different points of origin. You can read in Brahma-samhita, Jaiva-dharma, 15th chapter, that the jiva is tatastha shakti. He emanates from Vishnu. From that neutral position in the pradhan, he chooses seva-bhāv or selfishness. You understand? Tatastha shakti. But also jivas emanate in Golok, and they naturally develop seva-bhāv. Also in Haridam, they naturally develop seva-bhāv. They're far away from the material energy. But jiva, you can read verse 11 in the in Brahma-samhita. It explains that Vishnu is the source of jiva also. So he is in the pradhan. He's above the three modes, but he's not exactly in the spiritual world. He's in the pradhan. So this is the tata region. From that region, the jiva emanates in creational susupti. And then he awakens to consciousness, and then according to his own proclivity, he chooses the Maya Shakti and self-service, or he serves Krishna. And then if he chooses seva-bhāv, then he develops his swarup and goes to the spiritual world. So, tatastha jiva shakti. Tatastha. Tata means line or demarcation. Tatastha. Situated on the tata, the line between seva-bhāv and self-service. So, tatastha jiva shakti is emanated from Vishnu. This idea that people are in Goloka and they become envious is complete apasiddhanta. Nobody, you read 8th chapter, Gita, 8:20, 8:21, one who attains my abode never comes to this world. 4:10, 4:11, once you attain Krishna, you never take birth again. Also in 8th chapter of Gita, it explains that in the spiritual world, all living entities are achyuta. Achyuta means particularly they never fall down. But in the material world, they are fallible and infallible. The spiritual world is infallible. the status of consciousness there is never covered by the inferior material energy, because the soul is in a purified ecstatic condition. But as Tatastha Jiva Shakti, he's on this marginal line, and he can, because his bhava is not developed, you see. His relationship, his swarup is not developed in this position. So he can choose selfish pursuits or this. So the material energy, the jiva falls into the material energy, and the material energy fulfills his desire to enjoy separately. But because it's a foreign environment to the spirit soul, the jiva naturally gives up attachment. You understand? It's just like sometimes people become rich rock star and they take drugs and sex and rock and roll, and then they think, oh, I've got to give this up, and they go to rehab. This is a crude example, but the material world, sense enjoyment is like that. The more you try to enjoy, not you, the more one tries to enjoy, the more one suffers. Just like people, they drink daru, right, at the wedding. And then the more they drink, the more they feel sick in the morning. So the material energy, as soon as you try to enjoy, your conditions of suffering start. So the material energy, as regards the jiva, has two functions. You can enjoy ethereal delights in in Svargaloka. You can enjoy in Mahaloka, Tapaloka, high level knowledge and sensuality. But this material world, Bhuloka, this gross body, it's such a heavy covering. The senses are so dull here. We can't even run at 200 yards. If we eat 2 chapatis too much, we become sick. This gross Kali Yuga body cannot enjoy. This is meant, this Bhuloka is meant for self-realization. Kṛṣṇa comes here, Dharma samstapanathaya. He re-establishes Dharma in Bhuloka, earth plane. Lord Chaitanya comes here. He doesn't go to Swagaloka, he comes to Bhuloka. This Martyaloka, where death is prominent, this is the place where you can very quickly, in one short lifetime, develop bhava and get eternal life. Join the Leela of Kṛṣṇa. Go for final treatment, final ecstasy, final training, you see. So yes, the jiva, he does fall into the material world. He has vibhinangsha, he can choose. And that is guaranteed by Kṛṣṇa. That is the special quality of the soul. So whenever you see a soul in the material world, in the spiritual world or whatever, his condition is according to how he has used his free will. You understand? Ye tam mam prapadyante. All of them as they surrender. So this is why I say the most important thing is to realize that I have choice. I can desire to become Rupanuga, or I can become Ravana Anuga. And you see that, right? We all feel that within ourselves, right? That I have choice. So, and that is our choice. So Kṛṣṇa at the end, he says, Arjuna, I've explained everything to you now. What are you going to do? It's very interesting. His Supreme Lord, he says to Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna, what are you going to do? And then Arjuna says, Karishyate tava vachanam. I'm going to act according to your words. I choose to act according to your words. Right? So whatever our condition is, man, woman, old, young, whatever, if we realize that I have choice, I'm vivinangsa, then everything is clear. As long as we understand siddhanta, sambandha, abhidaya, prayojan, as long as we're correctly instructed, as long as we have the right idea, then the path is very easy. You understand? Therefore, shravanam, we must hear shastra, we must hear guru, we must hear acharya. And then we must listen to Chaitaguru. Somebody was asking me yesterday, oh, you're Prabhupada disciple, you're very lucky, you have a great guru. I said, no, everyone has a great guru of the same level, because within the heart, everyone has Chaitaguru. Everyone has Guru Baladev in the heart. There's nobody with a lower guru than anyone. All gurus are on the same level. They're mediums for Chaitaguru, right? However, we should study with accomplished, learned devotee, and we should at the same time study Shastra and Acharya. Three, you understand? So that we get the right siddhanta. Once we understand everything clearly, if we understand, like I'm trying to explain prayojan tattva, the nature of the spiritual world. So if we have the right idea, then that's our light, that's our mooring post, that's our path. You understand? Then it's easy to desire, because prayojan tattva, the spiritual world, once we have a slight vision of the spiritual world, once we have a slight vision of Radha and Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual world, by grace of Guru and Kṛṣṇa, prakashante maha, then we become inspired. So therefore, sadhu sangha sāva shastra hoy, lavamata sadhu sangha sāva siddhi hoy. Right? And it is all through the shastra, right? Tadvidi pratipātena pariprashne. You approach who? Jnaninas tatvadashina. The Mahatmanastamam pakra. Devim prakritim ashrita. Who is Guru? Shrotriyam brahmanishtakyam. Manduka Upanishad. Shrotriya means he's Guru because he knows the Shastra and he can clear doubts and give good knowledge. But Brahmanistākyam, he's situated in spirit. Brahma, supreme, Nistākyam. He is fixed in the transcendental realm. He is Jnaninas Tatvadashina. He is Mahatma. Mahatmanastamampada. So we have to study and we have to search out those devotees. And they are available by commentary. The books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Satsandavas, Jiva Goswami. It's like, this is a fantastic time to be on board. We can get Govinda Lilamrita, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya. 400-500 years ago, it was very difficult to find these books. Now on the computer, I have so many Shastra on my shelf, and in my computer I don't have a long enough lifetime. So we should take advantage. This is sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. And they will explain all the details. On this question, your question, get Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, 15th chapter. Everything is there. Okay, we'll finish at this point. Thank you for your kind attention. Kartik Mas ki, Sadhu Sangha ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Bhagavad Gita ki. Jai.